and welcome to the Almost Homestead. I'm sitting here after a very crazy day, and I thought I would tell you about it because today, for the first time, I rode a horse and also maybe almost died. So let me tell you today's story from the Dumbass Files. A friend of mine who I have been friends with since high school was looking for someone to go horseback riding with her. And you know, there's a little picture of baby me, maybe about a year and a half old, on the back of a horse, standing by my neighbor Ed, and just kind of hanging out. And I never got another opportunity to be on a horse and actually ride. So when my friend was like, hey, I want somebody to go horseback riding with me, I was like, hey, pick me. I've never been. I was really excited, but I'm also generally really scared of horses. They're really big. I am really short. I am not fond of being up high because short people are not made for that. But the way today went, I didn't really have time to get nervous. I met my friend at her house. She was showing me some different things she'd done to the house. Then we loaded up one of her kids. We were kind of running behind by the time we left, so we were kind of catching up with things. Grabbed her other kid from grandma's. Then we were really running late. And just kind of talking and not really thinking about what we were gonna do, right? Which was lovely. We get there, you have to be there 30 minutes early. We got there exactly 29 minutes early. But I had to use the bathroom, and while they do have restrooms there, they were out of order. So my friend had to drive me back to a different area of the park so I could use the nature center's bathroom. We get back just in time to walk into the horses, and we were given no instructions except for you're going to this horse, you're going to this horse, you're going to this horse, and you know, stand behind it while you wait for us to help you up into the saddle. Okay, you know, my friend thought we had just missed the instructions, but I happened to see the next group going for reasons that we will get to later. And so I observed that they gave the next group the same. All they said was, you need to keep your horse going to the left. This is how you pull the reins to the left. The end. Nothing about getting your horse to stop. Nothing about getting your horse to go faster or to go to the right. I don't know what happens if you needed to make it go to the right, as I did many times. Because, by the way, my horse was named Potato. Do you know why he was named Potato? Because he was probably my spirit animal and consistently was veering to the left to try and snack on the vegetation in the woods. Same Potato, same. But they were like, you need to jerk his reins so he doesn't do that. Look, I don't know who you think I am, but that horse was hungry and he was not even interested in hearing my command to go right. And also he was very quick because he noticed eventually that I started catching on and I would jerk the reins. So instead of stopping, he just jerked to the left and took a bite much more quickly. Well played, Potato. Well played. The order that we went in, there were people in front, then my friend, then her son, then her daughter who has some special needs, then me. So we start on our journey, everything's going good, and then we get to a point and my horse passes my friend's daughters. And my friend's like, how's my daughter doing? And I'm like, I don't know, she got behind me. Again, nobody is telling us how to stop these horses or slow them down. So then the people who were with us, there were 2 of them on horses, and they, one of them came over to me and helped me, like showed me how to slow Potato down so that my friend's daughter could get in front. And I was a little anxious because, again, my horse kept randomly veering to the left. And when he did that, like, it messed my balance up. And like, this was terrifying, might I just add. However, that was just a taste of what was to come. Let me go back a moment. So, I am a person who gets thirsty easily. So I had packed a bag that it's a really cute little bag. It folds up into into itself until you can hook it onto your belt loop, and then you can take it out. And I made what I thought was an over-the-shoulder market bag. And so I was like, as we're going up, he's like, "Is that a bottle of water?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "We don't really do that." And I was like, "Well, I've got this bag, blah, blah, blah." And he acted like that was fine, right? So then they get ready to help me onto my horse. And she sees the bag and she's like, "Don't let that hit your horse because it'll spook him." And I'm like, "All right." You know, so instead of putting it over my neck, which it turned out to be a neck one, I was afraid it would flop too much. So I kind of like secured it between my legs and the saddle horn. And everything was going great. It was all good. However, then we got to a point where the horses started to go a little faster. And somehow in the bouncing from that and the shifting for me to keep my balance, the bottle fell. The bottle hit the horse. The horse got scared, and I toppled to the side, barely was able to hang on, finally got myself up and back up and onto my horse. But I mean, I did almost fall. Scariest moment ever. Maybe not ever. Like I've done some unwise things before. However, I consider that to be a near-death experience. And you know, in retrospect, I really didn't have time to drink my water anyway. So that was really dumb. However, not only did my water bottle fall, apparently so did my phone. I didn't know that, but my phone fell. Like, oh great. So I got no pictures of the journey after that first little bit, which is fine because I had my grip fixed on my reins and my saddle horn because I was convinced that I was going to fall and, you know, break my butt and die. So I would not have taken a picture anyway. As a matter of fact, my friend's daughter got comfortable enough that she had like turned and waved to somebody, and I about had a panic attack thinking she was gonna fall off. She didn't. The horse was fine. That girl was like a natural on the horse. They picked a specific horse for her, but also she was just really good. She was really chill. So then we get like, I don't know, like another mile onto the trail, and someone's wallet in front of us fell. And so like there was the wallet with some cards out, and then like strewn for a while were like dollars. And I have no idea how that person ever got their shit, because they didn't stop. And I mean, the people didn't stop for my stuff, so I don't know why they would have stopped for their stuff. However, I didn't notice them ever going back for it. They left when we were done, so maybe it's because it was money and cards and stuff, somebody grabbed it. I don't know. But anyway, once I got over my absolute terror, and got used to the fact that Potato constantly stopped to snack, it actually was pretty fun. I think it was a 3-mile trail, and the horses, they said that usually people get comfortable right as it's ending. I got comfortable before that because, I mean, after being like, after about being thrown off the horse, like everything else was easy. Like I had survived that, you know. I was still like, if Potato moved too quick, I was a little unsteady, but overall it was much better after that. So I would say about halfway through the little riding experience, I was comfy. But yeah, Potato stopped all the time for food, and they got kind of mad at me. The staff did, because like, why did you let him eat? There was poison hemlock on this trail. Look, you knew when we started out that it was my first time on a horse. You knew. So I don't know why you thought that I would reasonably be able to keep that horse under control when he has his name because of his love of snacking. Yes, his name is Potato because he likes to snack so much. And again, no judgment, Potato. Same. I also enjoy frequent snacks. I also disrupt everything that is going on around me to stop and get a snack. And I also do not care who it inconveniences because I like my food. But with the little direction the staff gave us about how to ride this horse, I don't feel like I should be responsible for anything he eats. And also, I know what poison hemlock is. So I would have freaked if he had lurched toward poison hemlock. Did he? No. He ate nettles and leaves of some weird trees. Whatever. You know what? Anyway, it's fine. I feel like I need to call in a couple days and check on Potato. Make sure he's good, but he's fine. This is not the first time he's eaten all the weird shit on the trail. It's fine. But the story was not over, because we get back and we dismount off our horses, which was much easier than I thought it would be. And I still don't have my phone. So they said, you know, if you dropped it, you have to walk back and get it. And I didn't think that was a big deal, right? Because I had been up on my horse and I didn't really see what that trail was made of. So I get like, I don't know, like 10 feet onto that trail, and the mud just starts getting, you know, muddier and deeper and wetter. And pretty soon it's all I can do to stay upright. And then there's a hill that I had to go down and then back up. But after, I don't know, I had to walk maybe 10 minutes. I found my phone. Well, I found my water bottle. It was in the middle. And then I had to search all around for my phone because they said it had been thrown to the side, but they didn't tell me which side. And I thought it was going to be closer to the water bottle. It was not. But I did find it. My phone's fine. Clearly, I'm recording on it. I even picked up an extra water bottle on the way back to pay nature back for letting me enjoy its cool presence and all of the cool mushrooms I saw on the way. I saw oyster mushrooms when I was up on the horse. Could I get them? No. Could I eat them? No. That was sad. But I got back. My shoes are completely ruined because not only was that mud, but that was also horse poop. A lot of horse poop, because those horses run about once an hour on that trail. And I don't know about most groups, but ours was like 10 people, 10 horses. So it was gross. So my friend's daughter kept asking, like, you need your shoes, you need your shoes. And I was like, no ma'am, I do not. I asked them if they had trash. When we got back to the stable, they said no. But they did give me a couple of grocery bags. And so the minute we got to the car, my shoes did not go in the car in their state. I took them off. I put them in the bag they gave me. I went on about my business, got in the car. My friend said I had mud on my back. I don't know how the hell that happened, but she was like, it's totally fine. I have I have mud on my front, so, and the kids have mud on their shoes, so, you know, I gotta clean anyway. But yeah, I'm not gonna try and clean those shoes. They were old shoes, that's why I wore them, because I thought we would get gross like mounting and dismounting, which everyone else did. I just got worse because I walked the trail to get my phone. But very few shoes are shoes I would consider worth cleaning after that. And I definitely see why people wear boots, but if I had been wearing boots, they would have just came off, because that mud was deep. I mean, it was to the top of my shoes. I got it all over my pants. It squished into through one of my shoes onto my little sock. I don't know, whatever. But then I got back to the car, and my friend and I and the kids drove to Dairy Queen, and I tried a peach cobbler blizzard, which, by the way, is absolutely amazing. But to complete the routine of the day, or the pattern from the day, I am gluten intolerant. I have an actual food allergy to it. I have pills that I take that help me to digest it. It was peach cobbler, so there was the pie crust type stuff in it, in little squares. So I knew I needed to take my gluten pills, but they were not with me in my friend's car. And they were actually not in my car, they were in my backpack, which was back at the house. Did I remember to ingest the gluten pill as planned? Why, no, I did not. So I woke up after I took a little nap. I woke up to nausea because I did not take my gluten pill. And did you know how many muscles you have in your back end? Because I can feel every one of them. And also my back is very unhappy with my life choices for today. But when they say that horseback riding is a full body workout, they are not kidding. They are not kidding. I mean, I don't think we were even on the trail for an hour, and I felt it in my body then. I feel it in my body already. I'm gonna take some ibuprofen and, you know, like try and relax and chill, but like that worked out some things that are not usually worked out. So overall, 10 out of 10, I would do it again. My advice to you is to listen to what people tell you, even if they act like it's fine and it's no big deal, and like your solution is fine. It is not fine. Don't bring anything on your horse, except maybe your car keys. If you have your car keys, snap them onto a little fastener that goes on your belt. Passionately Intrigued Arts has some very cool bracelets that she makes using paracord that I think would make very, very good things to put your keys onto your belt with, and also good in survival situations. Link to that below. But overall, I would absolutely do it again, as would one of the kids. The other one was not into it. I asked him once as we were going along, like, hey, how do you like it, bud? And he was like, I am not okay. I think my friend would go back, I think, not positive. Probably depends on how bad the pain is later in the day. And her daughter would do it again. I think not such a long ride, because that's how we got to ice cream, is we had to convince her that it was okay that we were not almost done. And ice cream absolutely did the trick for her and also for me. Again, potato is probably my spirit animal. But yeah, 10 out of 10. I would do it again. Have you been horseback riding? I would love to hear about your experience in the comments. Tell me what you think. And as always, if you would like to hear more of my mishaps, shenanigans, crazy adventures, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Also, it would help if you liked my video. And as always, see you next time. Eat something wild and try something new.